Aaron Carter had imagined everything: waking to bird song, morning coffee on a sunlit porch, peace. After all, that's what the ad promised. Serene Lakeview escape where silence heals. She needed healing. A fresh divorce, a tired heart, and her daughter Ivy in tow. They deserved this. But the moment they pulled up to the Lakehouse in Lake Geneva, the first thing Erin heard wasn't birdsong. It was a drill. Loud, relentless, unapologetic. "Maybe they're finishing up," she muttered, forcing a smile for Ivy's sake. Inside, the place looked all right. A bit dusty, the view gorgeous, except for the scaffolding, and the men in neon vests power washing the building next door, and the sharp smell of paint in the air. By sunset, Ivy was coughing. By morning, Erin's nerves were splintering. She texted the property manager, Dave. His reply, all part of routine maintenance, shouldn't last more than a couple of days. It lasted. Each morning began with the grank of compressors. Her porch, the one she dreamt of journaling on, was wrapped in plastic like some crime scene. Workers shouted over Ivy's cartoon. Paint fumes crept into the sheets. She tried to make it work. She tried playing the strong mom, but after 5 days, Erin was muttering to herself like a woman on the edge, staring down a bottle of lavender oil like it owed her peace. Then, while digging through a kitchen drawer for napkins, she found it. A folded, water-stained receipt. 12 gallons of primer, 5 of exterior paint. Date: 2 weeks before her booking. So they knew this place would be a construction site. And still, Dave smiled over the phone, assuring her that guests usually love the rustic charm. That night, while Ivy slept, Erin stood in the backyard, watching sparks fly from a grinder on the neighboring cottage. Her vacation was a lie, but the real story was just beginning. When someone tells you it's all in your head, but your kid can't breathe and your bed smells like paint, what choice do you have but to fight back? Erin had always considered herself reasonable. She didn't scream at waiters. She returned shopping carts. She read the fine print. So when she called Dave, the property manager, a second time, she expected honesty, or at least decency. "Hey Dave," she said, keeping her voice firm. "You never mentioned the construction. My daughter's sick from the fumes. We can't use the porch. I want a refund." Dave chuckled. "Well, the lake still works, doesn't it?" Erin blinked. "Excuse me? You know some people would pay double for that view. Besides, we're not technically renovating your unit." It wasn't just the lie. It was the way he said it. Like she was overreacting. Like a little fresh paint and some noise were no big deal. But Ivy's wheezing cough that night, that was a big deal. Erin documented everything. Photos of the plastic-covered furniture, videos of the drilling. She even timed the work hours. 7 a.m. sharp, every morning, for 9 days. Still, her messages went unanswered. One afternoon, a knock came at the door. It was the old man from the cottage 2 lots down. A wiry frame, sun-beaten skin, and a look like he'd seen too many summers. "You're renting from Dave?" he asked. Erin nodded. The man sighed, reached into his coat pocket, and handed her a photo. It showed 2 guests, wrapped in fleece blankets, sitting awkwardly on lawn chairs outside a house wrapped in plastic. "Our place last month," he muttered. "Same noise, same lies. They got sick too." Dave never refunded them either. "Why didn't they say something?" Erin asked, stunned. "They did," he said. "Didn't matter." The man started walking away, then stopped. "He's slick. You won't get far going nice." That night, Erin didn't sleep. She stared at the ceiling and realized something painful. Dave never planned on giving refunds, because guests didn't stay angry, they just left, and he kept the money. But this time, Erin wasn't leaving quietly. They warned her to go home and forget it, but Erin wasn't the type to go quietly, especially not with mold in the walls and secrets under paint. Erin hit publish. Her post read, "Do not stay here. My daughter got sick. The house is unlivable." Within hours, it had traction, shared dozens of times on local forums, then picked up on a regional Facebook group called Vacation Nightmares Midwest. The comments poured in. "Same exact experience last summer. He told me I was too sensitive to smell. They painted around us while we were eating dinner." Each story made Erin's stomach twist. This wasn't just bad luck. This was a pattern, a scam disguised in fresh linens and scenic lake views. But then her email chimed. Subject: cease and desist. Remove all defamatory content or face legal action. It read, Signed, David L. Dorset, owner, Serenity Lake Homes LLC. So Dave wasn't just the manager, he owned the whole operation, and now he wanted her scared. But Erin wasn't the same woman who had arrived 2 weeks ago hoping to sip tea on a peaceful porch. She was angry, empowered, and armed with proof. She contacted a local investigative reporter, sent her everything: photos, footage, the photo from the neighbor and the threatening email. The reporter called back within 24 hours. "This is deeper than I thought. You're not the first, and you won't be the last." Turns out, Dave had been flipping lakeside properties for 5 years, cutting corners on safety, faking reviews and burying complaints under threats of legal action. Then came the final twist. Another message, this one anonymous, no subject line, just, "They don't want you telling the truth. You're not the first to push back. You should leave, tonight." Erin froze. Ivy was asleep. The house was quiet, too quiet. She peeked out the window. Across the lawn, the porch light on the next cottage flickered twice. Then darkness. Erin stepped back from the glass. Her breath caught. This wasn't just about a vacation gone wrong anymore. This was about how far people would go to protect a lie that made them rich. And Erin, she was just getting started.